Hey, you heard me first time. Gotta be kidding me. I watched your videos, saw Sergeant Willie Pete's video, and I don't want to get in the way of you guys' exchange because I know you guys oftentimes go back and forth, and it's pretty entertaining for us to listen to and watch because you guys are pretty good at making your arguments, so I don't want to necessarily butt in. I think this conversation will flow like it needs to flow because you guys are both thinkers. I know other people are going to chime in as well, so I don't want to take us too much time and sidetrack people from what you guys have presented. But what I will say is we can't forget that when you are progressive or educated, professional, whatever you want to call it, okay, and black, you are going to unfortunately be in a world where you are not around other black people. Okay, you can be a quote-unquote educated, professional, well-to-do white person, Asian man, or whatever, and know that you can meet other people like you. It's not a big deal because there is no shortage of your kind in terms of professional America. Black people, we don't have that option. Okay, oftentimes the ones who are progressive, professional, whatever you want to call it, know that, man, if I want to keep it all black, what do I have to do? Go to some club where the vast majority aren't doing what you are doing. So to me, a lot of progressive black people often have to make the choice. Do I want to quote unquote keep it black and be with people I don't really get along with or I can't even talk to? Or am I going to be with people who aren't of my racial background, but we have more in common, and sometimes I don't want to admit it. Okay, I'm not just talking about dating, I'm just talking about hanging out with. Okay, now that I'm, pretty much in the field that I want to be in, a lot of the people that I talk to and, hang out with aren't black. And it's crazy because I thought there would be a big issue, but we're normal people. Yeah, we have our key differences, but we see eye to eye. Okay, especially in terms of we have the same sort of career, so we have the same sort of lifestyle. Their goals are my goals. What they want is kind of what I want as well. So after a while, you're like, man, I would love to be around other black people, but unfortunately, to be progressive or to be professional means that you're not going to be around other black people. Okay? It is what it is. So in terms of who you look at, in terms of who's available to date, what does that mean? There are not going to be too much black people to choose from. Like I said before, other groups of people have the luxury of knowing that they can go out and they can get with other, progressive or forward-thinking, professional, educated people of their own race, of the opposite sex. So if you're white, there's place, and this is from my own Southern California experience. If you're Asian, for instance, you can go out and you can meet Asians of the opposite sex and know that they're educated as well. Then you can say, I'm Korean, I want to get some Koreans, or hey, I'm from Taiwan, I can get some people who are from Taiwan, Chinese, Japanese. Don't let me get started on the Middle Easterns, the Persians, the Iranians. They all have that luxury of knowing that they can go out and they can meet new people who have their background. But black people, we don't have that option. So what does this mean? You heard me first time. What does this mean, Sergeant Willie Pete? It means that we are pretty much intruding on other people's social networks, primarily white, because from my own personal experience, a lot of the other social networks, whether it's Asian, Middle Eastern, they're very closed. They're not accepting of people from the outside. Okay, in terms of the whole professional white circuit, you can be non-white but still kind of be in their world. Okay, like for instance, I've been to Asian spots and Middle Eastern spots, and there was no love for black people there. They did them, they didn't even socialize with you. As opposed to going to, let's say, a white sort of bar, pub, or whatever, where the people there are professional, they're a little bit more welcoming of other professionals who may not be white. Okay, so you can be, Asian or whatever, and it's not a big deal. Okay, as opposed to other places where it's very exclusive. Okay, and people can take it how they want to take it, but that's just the reality in Southern California. So more than likely, okay, as progressive, professional, whatever you want to call it, black people, when we want to socialize, we're going to be around other white people. Okay? Professional white men have more access to professional black women than black men do, vice versa. Okay? Professional white women, or however you want to call it, have more access to black men than black women do. Okay? There is no shortage of their numbers, but we are in limited supply, and we are already guests in their world. See, it's not as if black women have their own professional places that they go to, and it's white men coming down and saying, hey, we found you because we've been looking. If you're already at his club, if you are already at his bar or his, a restaurant, he's not going far. Like I said, you are a visiting guest. So of course he's going to see you, and eventually if you are around something long enough, you're going to say, hey, how's it going? Let's talk. And then the whole idea of you guys both being professional comes on. To me, it's not even about he's a white man and you're a black woman. It has more so to do, we have similar lifestyles. So let's hit it off. Same thing with black men and, the whole idea of white women. Okay, I'm not going off and hunting them down, and they're not coming out hunting for me. I'm already at the spots where they are. Okay, I'm leaving my comfort zone and getting into their world. They're not leaving anything. Because like I said, there is no problem with white people or other groups of people having social networks of other people who are professional. So to me, it's not even about, he's a black man and I'm a white woman. It's more so about, hey, you're in this field, I'm in this field. We have a lot in common. Apart from the fact that we're of a different race, let's see if this can work. That's the way I look at it. Okay, and that's how I see it. I think we put too much emphasis on the racial part and not enough on the whole idea of lifestyle. And the whole idea of the reality that if you are a professional, progressively minded black person, you unfortunately are not going to be around other black people. Now, what Sergeant Willie Pete said, part of it is true in terms of you have women who are the best of the best who don't even want to deal with black men. Yes, that is true. But to me, I'm not going to put too much weight on that going on. But even though it does happen, but what's happening is you have black women who just aren't around black men professionally, and vice versa. What I try to tell black women is that even if you are a professional, progressive or whatever, and on a college campus, you clearly outrank us, okay? There's more of you and less of us. In a real life scenario, it doesn't matter because our numbers are so small. It's still not significant enough to see the actual disparity in real life. Like I said before, you have to be on a college campus to really see the disparity. But in professional America, black people by themselves are hard to come by, regardless of, they're of your same gender and regardless of their age and how attractive they are to you. Okay, so we have a lot of work. See, there's an assumption that professional black women and progressive black women have that they are so visible to black men. And that for whatever reason, black men just aren't choosing them. I don't see you. We don't see you. Okay? Like I said, white men have a better job of seeing you because you're working at their jobs and you're going to their bars and pubs. Same thing with white women. Okay? If they're everywhere, they have more opportunities to come in contact with me. So at the end of the day, okay, like I said, I'm not trying to take away from what you have said or what anybody else is going to say, but the biggest issue or the biggest factor in this whole problem is the whole idea that we are in limited number and that we unfortunately have to go out of our way to meet and greet with each other, and other groups don't have to. Hence the whole idea of being comfortable going off and adopting someone else's social network. It's easier. So you guys take it easy. God bless.